The one thing that's been very different for me at USD, it's totally different when you're building a program from scratch and you're choosing every player that you're putting into your program than it is to walk into a program that has several kids just waiting and trying to make the adjustment from one coach to another. And those are two different things I kind of underestimated before I took this job. But one of the hardest decisions I had to make early on as the head coach of this program was, are we going to try to implement the system that we would really like to implement for our team and our program heading forward and for the future, or are we going to play to the strength of what we've got here right now? And how do we pull from both of those sides? And I want to run up tempo. I have a secondary break system that I like to run. We're pushing, and then we've got some players that aren't as speedy as we, that would fit into that type of style of play. So how much do you start, keep trying to fight and get that going and get everybody kind of that head start going in that direction, or how much do you take a step back and say, okay, we need to play to the strength? And I feel like we are finally, at this point, kind of finding the right balance between kind of being in the system that we want, but also being able to kind of understand when is the time to pump the brakes and run a set play that we need to run that plays to the strength of our team. And I think we're starting to really learn. And one of the biggest challenges is I'm very impatient, just like most head coaches. You want to come in and just see the results right away, and it hasn't been that way. It's been a gradual process. All preseason, we've been really up and down, and in the flow of one game, we may be great for a few minutes and not so great for a few minutes. But I really feel like since the Christmas break, we've finally started to kind of get over that hump, and we're playing a lot more consistent right now. Our kids are starting to figure out what we want in the flow and of our system and how we're trying to run, and it's starting to really come together for us. So I think that the best basketball is to come, and even in the teams that I coached at Rogers State University, we didn't always have a super fast start, but we were always playing our best basketball in March, and that's what my goal is as a coach and program, is to be patient through the ups and downs early in the season, and so we can continue to develop and motivate and be playing our best when it really counts. And that's what we're hoping for heading into this season. The Summit tournament is going to be just so exciting right now. Our kids can't hardly wait that we'll be able to be involved in that tournament for the first time, and that's our goal, is to be playing our best basketball there so we can have some special things happen down the stretch. They've been kind of thrown to the wolves a little bit this year, and we've got 3 freshmen who are all kind of contributing minutes. Taya Hemiller from Watertown, Heidi Hoff from Brandon, and Margaret McLeod probably is playing the biggest role as a freshman from Rapid City Stevens. But we had 5 season-ending injuries at the beginning of the season. So before we even played a ball game, 1/3 of our roster was out for the whole time. So we've only got 10 kids left to kind of pick from. So that means those freshmen have no choice but to jump in, and let's get after it. And they've done a really good job. They've been maturing, growing up, learning. They haven't had that luxury of being able to kind of learn and practice. They've had to jump into game situations and contribute right away. Margaret has made the biggest contribution, I would say. She's playing definitely, 18 to 20 minutes a game, and she's double-figure rebounder. She's, been double-doubles in several games, and that's pretty impressive as a freshman. And, Heidi is at that point. Heidi can score in a lot of different ways. She's just trying to figure out how to not turn the basketball over, at this level, and then also how to guard on the other end, and we're just working through some things there with her. Taya is a little water bug. She is fire. She plays hard, plays with a motor, gives a lot of energy, brings a lot of energy, and we're asking a lot for her as a freshman to come in and try to lead and be that point guard and, make sure everybody on the floor knows what we're in. And I think there's been some games early they've done great, and then some games where we've seen the growing pains, and it's just a little up and down, which is what you'd expect out of the freshmen. But overall, I think they're really contributing and a big piece to what we've got going forward. I feel really, really strongly that 4 of the 5 will be back. Yeah, I'd love to say all 5, but.
So I suppose that's probably like a whole new recruiting class in itself then.
It kind of is. What it does to our recruiting classes is next year, with those kids all coming back and having redshirted, it puts 6 kids into our sophomore class and 5 into our freshman class. And that's, with just the 2 freshmen we've signed already, and we still have several scholarships available for the late signing period, and we do expect to be signing some kids here in April. So it's going to be a young year again next year. Polly Harrington right now is expected to be our only senior returning to our team next year. So we play Kansas City on Saturday, so this has kind of been a perfect week for a little bit of a little rest. Normally we play every Thursday, Saturday in the Summit Conference, but this week we're playing our travel partner, I guess you say, so we're going to be off tomorrow and then down at Kansas City on Saturday. So it's kind of nice here. The first 4 games of our conference schedule have been Omaha at home, then North Dakota State on the road, South Dakota State on the road, Kansas City on the road, and those are all teams that were picked above us in the Summit Conference preseason poll. So to get all those really tough road games out of the way right off the bat is really nice. But and also we start school tomorrow, so the girls be back in school and to not have to travel on Thursday, the first day or second day back in school, is good. Well, what's so hard is to keep it business as usual. It's really hard for that one because the girls, almost every one of them, we had kind of a goal session and a goal and roll session where each one of them individually came into my office and had their goals mapped out and what they thought their role was on the team. And almost every one of those kids, especially the ones from South Dakota, had as one of their goals beat state. Just beat state with an exclamation point. I mean, there's really no getting around the rivalry there. It's just so intense, and so it's hard to try to keep them kind of under wraps and kind of even keel and not getting too high for that game and too hyped. So I did everything I could to just keep it business as usual. We practiced the very same way. We did things. We didn't try to do anything special. We knew that we can be competitive with that team if we do what we do and do it to the best of our ability. It wasn't going to take anything special, and that's kind of the message we tried to send, and just keep it as business as usual as we possibly could.